Theo's just been offered a raise. Before he says yes, he does something most people never bother to do. He actually maps out what every salary level in the UK really means, not just the number on a contract, but what it actually buys and where the hidden traps sit. By the end of this, you'll know exactly which stage you're in and what's waiting for you at the next one. Phase 1, surviving. £24,000 a year. This is where it starts. Roughly what a full-time worker earns on the national living wage, which rose to £12.71 an hour this year. After tax and national insurance, there isn't much room left. Rent, bills, and basic groceries take up most of what comes in. Saving anything meaningful here isn't about discipline. It's about sacrifice, because the numbers simply don't leave much slack. Theo remembers this stage clearly. A packet of noodles felt like a decision, not a snack. Phase 2, getting by. £30,000. Things start to breathe a little. This sits above minimum wage, but still below the national median. Comfortable enough that a coffee out doesn't feel like a crisis, but a shared flat or careful budgeting is usually still the reality. This is the stage where people start opening a savings account for the first time, even if what goes into it is small and inconsistent. Theo's friend from the supermarket job is at this stage now, steady, but still checking his balance before saying yes to plans. Phase 3 average. £39,000. This is the number that surprises a lot of people. This is the actual UK median full-time salary. Half of everyone working full-time earns more than this. Half earn less. On paper, it sounds solid, and outside London, it usually is. But in London specifically, average rent alone can eat up the majority of what's left after tax. The same salary, wildly different lives, depending entirely on postcode. This is the stage where Theo actually is right now. Phase 4. At the edge. £50,270. This isn't just a number, it's a line. Cross it. And the 40% higher tax rate kicks in on everything earned above it. This is where a raise stops feeling purely good news. Theo's co-worker got bumped just over this threshold last year, and instead of celebrating, spent the evening doing maths, working out exactly how much of that extra pay actually reached her account, versus how much of it just moved into a steeper tax band. Phase 5 trapped. Somewhere between £100,000 and £125,140. This is the stage almost nobody expects. The tax-free personal allowance, the amount everyone gets before tax even starts, begins shrinking, pound by pound, for every pound earned above £100,000. By the time someone reaches the top of that range, the allowance is gone completely. The result is an effective marginal tax rate of 60% in that exact zone, higher than any other band in the entire system. This is why some high earners actively try to avoid landing exactly here. On paper, 6 figures looks like a rival. In practice, this exact stretch can be the most punishing stage of all. Phase 6. Clear again. Past £125,140. The system stops actively working against you the way it does just below it. The personal allowance is already gone by this point, so it can't shrink any further, and the tax rate settles at 45%, the UK's top rate. It's genuinely rare territory, but it's also, oddly, calmer than the stage just beneath it. The trap is behind you. So here's the full picture. The number on a contract only tells part of the story. Where that number actually sits against these specific thresholds is what determines what someone really keeps. The biggest trap in the entire system doesn't sit at the top. It sits in the middle, at exactly the stage that looks like success. Theo's takeaway wasn't to chase the highest number possible. It was to understand exactly where the traps sit, so a raise never quietly costs him more than it earns him. Which stage are you at right now? And did any of these numbers surprise you? Let me know in the comments and subscribe for more of Theo's story and real UK and Europe finance breakdowns.